Hey everybody, Jonathan here, and I am with Gabriel, the owner of Body and Exercise Pilates. He's invited me here today to go over his Evo Performance and Evo workstation. So I'm going to be going over some videos with you to show you the anatomy and everything that you need to know about his machine. Starting with the front platform, this is the Evo Performance. We can see that the front platform is quite wider than the back platform. Earlier when I measured it, the front one is about this much longer and the back one is cut that much away. We can see here that this is the front platform strap. There's a very nice fabric underneath, very soft if you want to bring your forearms underneath, which is what some people do. And even though it looks like it's raised, when you place your forearm on top or your knees or shins, it's actually quite comfortable in comparison to other straps. In the very front down below, you can see here that there's two anchor points to the bungee cord. And the bungee cord is actually different. So if you wanted to, I think you could just purchase other ones online and then just feed it through here. And you can create different bungee cords. Or you can just buy extra carabiners and create your own bungee. This bungee attachment is very interesting because you can actually put it through your ankle or the bottom of your leg, or you can even slide it through your foot, the traditional way of what we're used to seeing when we put on a bungee cord. I would highly recommend getting two because one is for each side. If we attach the bungee here, what's going to happen is the tension of this is going to be a lot more. And if we wanted to change this anchor point to attach here, this would lessen the tension. I highly suggest for all bungee exercises that you do not kneel on the platform. I tested it already, and you want to kneel more onto the carriage to really get the bungee tension. Moving along, you can see this bar here slants upward instead of coming all the way out. I think it gives a more luxurious feel. Going to the side of everything, you can see that it's about 3 inches from the front platform instead of sticking out too far. Looking at the side of the strap, you can either tighten it or loosen it and feed it through here where the buckle is or the belt part is. And moving on to the handlebar. This is a fixed handlebar. It goes straight up. This is where it will pivot 360, and this here is the cushion. It's pretty cushioned. This is pretty hard, so this is really helpful. If we want to lift it up, I'll let you hear the sound. So we can see this whole thing comes up and the noise is pretty quiet. Locking into place can be a little bit loud. Let's go down to the springs here. On the carriage facing the front platform, yellow would be light, green would be medium, and red would be heavy. And I would just call this extra light. Now I asked and they said that they can change these colors if you don't want them to be the colors for the spring tension. And I'm pretty sure that if you wanted to, you can replace, instead of having 3 reds, maybe 2 blues. I've asked them already and they can't make another spring that's lighter than this. The reason why is because this yellow spring is the same amount of tension on a Pilates machine, which I think is around 16 to maybe 17 pounds. So this blue one is half of this one. So this is sort of like a modern Pilates spring tension. I want to say it's about anywhere from 9 to 11 pounds, maybe even 12. So it might not give you the intensity, but however, when in my training, I tell you where to put the different anchor points to make the spring choice lighter or heavier. Now this material, although it's quite thin, it's actually steel. And because of it being steel, when it glides against the actual wheels underneath the machine, it is very, very smooth. I've never had an experience on a machine where it was this smooth before. That's one of the best things about this machine, in my opinion. The second is the cushion. The cushion is about 30% memory foam. So I have a very sensitive left knee and I have sensitive elbows just from demonstrating a lot through the years of teaching. And this is just the right amount because there's some reformers that are too cushiony that your foot will end up supinating or pronating, which is not going to be good for your ankles. We can see that there is also a front carriage strap and a back carriage strap. This is pretty wide. I'll get the measurements if I get the permission. And we can see that there's a number 1, a 1.5, and a 2. We can see that this carriage, maybe 2/3 way, has a bar that goes around here. You have different anchor points where you want to hold either the outside, which is preferred by some people, or by holding inside, maybe for narrower shoulders. We also have the well. The well is here. We have the well or floor strap inside of the well that can be moved. I love this. This is a lot higher off the ground, so that changes the distance from this well strap to the back platform, which is going to give you more of a Pilates feel when they do a mermaid crunch or side bend. So we have the 2 anchor points here. One will go to your long black strap attached to the side of the carriage. You have your short loop and your long loop. And we also have another anchor point that goes to the back for the short hard handles, which we'll go to next. This is the long black strap with the short loop. This is more Pilates. However, I like it. It's very soft. When I do serve the platter at most studios, the part in between my thumb and my pointing finger is really not comfortable right here. This allows you to have a comfortable feel with the short loop on the inside. Now, there is no anchor point for this to hang. However, they said that they could add an extension out from here to hang, and that'll make it hang comfortably and be able to pick up a little bit better. Going to the back, we can see that there's also the handles that are fixated just like the front. They are the same height from the front and the back. There's a place to put weights or whatever else you want. You could probably put a ring here if you wanted to. We can see that right here is where the short straps are hung up at the back. This is the half circle attached to a carabiner, again, the blimp or the teardrop. And quite interesting enough, I like this. They have a short hard handle inside a long black strap. So depending on your height, your strength, or whatever modification and intensification you want, you can either hold here or here at the back, which controls the carriage. We can see here that this is the pulley system for the short hard handle that attaches right on here. And we can see the other pulley is right here that controls the long black strap. Going to the back platform, this is going to be a lot less wide compared to the front over there. And in the front, we can see here that there is a cup holder. I'm not quite sure if a Stanley would fit in here. However, I have this with me, an Owala. This is the biggest one that they offer, I believe. And this fits perfectly inside, right next to the machine in front. The great thing about these colors are they can be the colors of the frame. You can see here that this is a little bit of a red. You have this matte black. We have this glossy, I wouldn't say like metallic gray. And we also have this maybe white ivory. This here is a large book of different upholstery colors. We can see here that there's black, there's different shades of blue, green, red, orange, charcoal gray, salmon, yellow, mustard, all the way to a beige. So many different colors that you can change the upholstery for. This right here is the stabilization pole for the Evo, and I'm about 5'8", and this goes to about my chin. You can see here, this is a pretty durable steel. You have a top right here, pretty flat. Usually these collapse inwards and people feel awkward, but this you can put your hand right on top. This is quite heavy. I want to say this is about 10 plus pounds. Production time is about 30 days and shipping is about 30 to 45 days depending on where you live in the world. If you'd like some more information about the cost of the machine, I'll leave the link down in the description for you to click on. You can reach out to me for more information if you'd like. And thank you for your time for going over the Evo Performance.